Hey, we are inching towards that part of the year where all of us are slipping just a little bit in our New Year's resolutions. Maybe I'm giving you too much credit and on January 3rd, you already messed up. I don't know. But I'm here to remind you to stay strong, keep the things out of your life that don't serve you, and work hard towards the things you do want. On that subject, in my opinion, one of the most significant hindrances to living your best life is keeping people around whose presence and energy doesn't make you feel like you can be your best self. Usually, those are significant others and friends as well. So today, I wanted to deep dive into your ex secrets. The whole thing's a bit contorted. I'm basically telling you, release your ex, but also let me share your ex trauma with the world and let's really deep dive into all of the details of it. You know what I mean? It's just like the message is there, but then the context just doesn't add up. But you know, sometimes you've got to go through something to go out of it. Yeah, okay, I tied that together, didn't I? Speaking of tying things together and speaking of cleansing things, I want to talk to you guys about Blue Land. Welcome to my bathroom. Unlike traditional liquid cleaners that use single-use plastic bottles, with Blue Land, all you need to clean your house or your hands is this small nickel-sized tablet. First off, you're gonna want to fill your Forever bottle with warm to hot water. It's classy. I like her. And then these tablets in different flavors. Can you call them flavors if you don't eat them? Scents. Drop one of the tablets into the water bottle. Wait for the tablet to completely dissolve before putting the nozzle back on. And you can use it in minutes with no shaking or stirring necessary. So let's wash our hands. We are still in a pandemic, so I wash for extra long. Squeaky clean. Blue Land sells cleaning products for your home that are effective, affordable, safe for use, convenient, vegan and cruelty-free, and made with clean ingredients and without ammonia, VOC, soy and nut, chlorine, bleach, or parabens. I personally got the hand soap, but Blue Land sells a bunch of products, if not any product you could use for cleaning your home. Every time I buy a new single-use plastic bottle, I waste like $5 to $6 versus the $2 it costs to buy this little tablet. So instead of buying individual use soap or cleaning products, if you get a kit from Blue Land, you are already getting 20% in savings. And on top of that, I have a code for you to get an extra 20% off. All you have to do is click the link in the description box to get 20% off your first kit. Cleanse yourself of your toxic exes and wash your hands because we're still in a pandemic, and clean your home because it feels good to be in a nice clean environment and it's conducive to doing other good things for ourselves. You know what I mean? Let's get back to the video. Hi. So I hooked up with my best friend's boyfriend several times, and every single time she always tries to FaceTime me. It's almost as if people have some sort of knowing about these things, some sort of intuitive hunch that your best friend's a fucking bitch. Sorry. I don't know if, should I be on your team because you're a subscriber and your friend's probably not, you know what I mean? But like, I'm on her team. I always tell her I'm busy or something, and she texted me one night and said, I know you slept with my boyfriend. See, that's what people know these things. Maybe not always, but you know, your intuition isn't there for nothing. And I replied, well, duh. And she hasn't texted me in 2 years. By the way, him and I are getting married next month with a baby on the way, LOL. Okay, that actually changes things. I don't think it's okay how you guys handled it, but you guys let me know what you think. When two people who got together while one of them was dating someone else actually last, like get married, live together, have a child, is it any more forgiving? It's like clearly their relationship was meaningful. No, you know what? No, what am I saying? You just go about it the right way still, you know? Hey there! I'm not sure why I feel the need to share this now, but I would love to hear you spill it. I have yet to tell anyone this secret, nor did my ex-boyfriend ever figure it out. Anywho, I have been dating this boy for about 3 years or so, and we even lived together. Our relationship was up and down, but I thought we were doing great given our circumstances and how young we were. However, out of the blue, he began to not respond to text messages while away from home and constantly say he was out with friends or working late. Sometimes he wouldn't even come home at all at night and have no explanation as to why he's gone without any notice. Of course, at that point, I was highly suspicious that he was cheating, but didn't want to jump to conclusions since we were very young, and he could have just been out with friends. If you ever find yourself going, he could have just been out with friends, then maybe you know what's actually going on. But I was not going to just let this go, so my crazy young ass self decided to make a fake dating profile on a dating app in hopes of catching him in the act, or seeing if he even had an active account. Within hours of creating this profile, not only did I find his account and match with him as this fake person, but he was already messaging the fake account saying they were hot and asking to meet up. Oh my, that's heartbreaking, honestly. I still stayed quiet even though he was literally in the same room as me, because I was ready for some serious revenge and to see how far he would go. I bet this situation dealt you a lot of trust issues. I know it's bad, but I kept up this fake identity profile for a little bit, maybe a week or so, before asking him, as this fake person, to meet me in a town a few hours away to have relations. If you know what I mean. We all know what you mean. Meanwhile, I am in the same house with him and he makes up some excuse about having to help a friend and saying he wouldn't be home until tomorrow. I gave him a random hotel address via the fake profile. He drove all the way there, sent explicit pictures to the fake account, offered money, etc. Offered money? I mean, that just went from here to here. You know what I mean? Like, okay, he's cheating, but now he's like engaging in prostitution. He also asked me for relations and explicit pics from this account many times while I was in the bed next to him. Anyway, to make a long story short, I deactivated that account about an hour after he got to that hotel parking lot. He waited around for hours just to drive the hours back home that same night. I never told him it was me or that I knew he was cheating. I just up and moved literally 1,000 miles away about a week after that. But it was very satisfying to know he wasted all that time and effort when he had the world at home. I love your self-love, because I know a lot of people might take this situation and be really hard on themselves when it really has nothing to do with them and everything to do with their partner. So go off, live your life 1,000 miles from wherever you were before. I'm happy. I think you handled it correctly. I mean, if you get to a point where you think you need to make a profile to catfish your significant other to see if they're cheating, I feel like it's a pretty clear sign of like the trajectory of where it's all going. You know what I mean? So maybe you didn't handle it totally correctly, but it was a bridge you had to cross. And I'm glad you crossed it and gave me this tidbit of entertainment. Damn. That fucking sucks. But I think you handled it like a champ, and we're all rooting for you. So my ex-boyfriend is a nasty piece of work. He was my first and he meant a lot to me. Long story short, he used me for sex and then made fun of me for it to his friends. I was ridiculed for months. People made fake accounts to say nasty things about my body, which is a load of shit. My body is completely normal. Yes! You know it. But it still took a toll, and I'm now self-conscious of showing my figure and body and am terrified of intimacy. He also befriended my toxic ex-best friend after we split up, and they posted all about it online for me to see. Yeah, that one really cut deep. He had 4 new girlfriends over the time we split, and I haven't even had one because I'm too afraid. I hate it, honestly. Why are people shamed for having consensual sex? The amount of girls I know who have been shamed for sleeping with their partner? Ugh, it makes me so mad. I wish I wasn't so blinded and left when I could have, because he treated me like shit. Anyway, I remember seeing him in shower. We were that level of comfortable at one point, ew. And he had a lot of hair in his ass crack. So as revenge, I might anonymously tell people he has a shit stain up his bum, as well as dingleberries. I'm not sure yet. If he hurts me once more, I'll be the one laughing in the end. Yeah, why do girls get shamed for doing the exact thing that men do? Quite a double standard. Although it sounds like you're in high school, and so I'm not completely surprised by this behavior. Also, you know what you guys don't know? You don't even know it. Reading your stories brings up my own personal trauma. And I just had one come up, and there's part of me that's like, you should share it, you know, do it for the Vine. But part of me is like, no, that's so intimate and personal and don't share it. And I even have an editor, you know what I mean? It's like, if they don't put it in the video, I'm still sharing it with them. Oh God, should I do it? Is it my turn to dish out what I have been just getting from you guys? Like I gotta give okay, here we go. So in high school, there was a boy who was new to our high school, and I thought he was really cute. And I had a very confusing relationship with sexual relations because I have had assault experiences growing up. So I don't know, sometimes I would This is so personal. Sometimes I would kind of put myself in situations, not really because I wanted to be there, but it was almost a little self-harmy. Like, if I can't control that this is happening to me, then I'm going to create this scenario. It was convoluted, and then I had my sexual identity. Anyways, I didn't want to be there, but I ended up having sexual relations with that man, that boy, when we were in high school. And I didn't want to be there, and I dissociated and was kind of just like laying there. Oh my God, this is so personal. Why am I sharing this? I don't know. And by the way, he wasn't very good. You know, maybe I would have been more engaged if he knew what he was doing. But I got to school the next day, and a bunch of the boys in my class started calling me a dead fish because I just laid there. And to this day, I wish I had the fucking nerve to have been like, I wouldn't have been a dead fish if this kid knew what the fuck he was doing. Also, I didn't want to be there. He didn't like assault me or anything. I put myself in that scenario. But yeah, it was really fucked up and traumatizing. And I got made fun of a lot for something that was genuinely traumatizing. So, at last, Alex shares her own secret. I should push myself to share every so often if I feel compelled to. That was really hard to share though, and I don't even know if I'm gonna put it in. Oh my God, I'm sweating. Let's move on. This will sound weird, but hear me out. I once pooped on the floor of... Okay. I once pooped on the floor at my ex-boyfriend's house because I was afraid that someone would hear the poop in the toilet. That splash noise, you know? Oh my God. That taunting splash noise of being a human. But I do know. You just turn the sink on, honey. That's it. So I pooped on the floor, which is a lot less embarrassing than pooping in the toilet. Put it very slowly into the toilet and then flushed it and washed my hands like 1,000 times. See, when the sink was on, instead of washing your hands 1,000 times, just put the sink on and no one will hear the plops. Later, the family dog would not stop sniffing the place where I had pooped on the floor/carpet, even though I cleaned it all up. Oh my God. People really do make life far more difficult for themselves than it needs to be. You know what I mean? And I get it. Sometimes in the moment you don't realize that's what you're doing, but I promise you in that moment, that's what you did. Next time, we turn the sink on and it's fine. Okay, this one is gonna be something. So basically, I'm gonna be telling you some weird shit about my ex-boyfriend. I love this introduction. This is the intro to your essay. Now I'm glad to hear that we're gonna be learning about your ex-boyfriend. Let's call him Sam. So Sam was a Therian. Basically someone who believes they were or are supposed to be an animal or were one in a past life. It's interesting stuff, look into it. I guess I'm one. I don't know if I'm saying it right. A Therian? A Therian. I've definitely been an animal in a past life, and I hope to God as fuck that I'm a bird in the next one. I always look at them and I'm like, fuck you. Not in the most loving way. I want wings. I want to feel the freedom of the sky. You didn't ask. I'm sorry, you didn't ask. This never bothered me, obviously, but there was one occasion that kind of, well, is really fucking weird looking back. So he was a bunny, Therian, and because he lives in another country than me, we would role play over text. Cringy, I know. But sometimes we would role play as a literal bunny and me as a human. Weird, but not the weirdest part. So basically, I don't know how we got on the topic, but he said something about like wanting to erotically roleplay, but him be a bunny. At the time, this didn't send off alarm bells because it was a really toxic relationship and I was kind of blind to all that shit, but yeah. And for the record, no, we never did because that's weird as fuck. What does that even look like? Role-playing as him being a... So basically, you role-play bestiality. You just discuss what it would look like for you to sexually engage with him as a... No, that's pretty gnarly. There was a quick moment where I wanted to support his endeavors, but no. And somebody make sure that boy does not ever get a bunny. I don't even want to know what that relationship would end up looking like. That being said, I'm a bird Therian, and if anyone is interested in sexual relations, you can contact me. No, it's not sexual, but I do really want to fucking be a bird. My ex-boyfriend told me he wanted to tie me up, bite off my dick, cook it, then make me eat it. He's now in prison for attempted murder. Makes sense. But that confession makes me wonder, if you had to tie someone up, bite off a body part, cook it, and eat it, what would it be? Cause I'm actually down for a dick. You know what I mean? Like if I had to pick one, maybe that would be the body part that I chose. But there's probably a lot of psychological unpacking to do as to why this that's the case for me. And I wouldn't want to do that at all. But if I had to choose, it would probably be your cock. Yeah, you, if you have one. I've never told anyone this, but when my ex-boyfriend Xander cheated on me, I went to his house, threw his grandmother's lamp on the floor. What did she do to you? Set fire to his carpet and poured glitter all over his clothes, his bed, his chair, his desk, in between his keyboard, and his hair products. Then I put pickle juice in his body wash just to make him stink like pickles. I actually love the smell of pickles, so you did him a favor there. And I feel like pickle lovers are a superior breed, so you're actually helping him meet somebody else. I'm sorry, I don't mean to make you feel worse. I told her I dropped a gift off for him and walked out. It sure was a gift when he blew up my phone 50 times the night after. Honestly, it's fine. You were angry, you did a bunch of stuff that was a lot, but the thing I just can't, why his grandma? Why you gotta attack his old little grandma who had nothing to do with it? It's not like he cheated on you with his grandma. You know, what did she do to you? So I'd love to support you, but I can't because you went too far. You went too far. So my crush is in the same class as me and we had to turn on our cameras for a presentation around our first week of school. He turned his camera on to present. He also turned me on, so I started fingering myself to his cam, and they called on me when I realized I had my camera on too. I got out of that class and thought nobody else saw it except for maybe the teacher, but somehow my boyfriend found out about it and told my mom, and he broke up with me? What? Why would he do that based on my behavior? Why are you acting confused? I would break up with you too. I am breaking up with you. I hate online school and Zoom calls and everything about it, so I'm switching schools next week. Also, my teachers will never grade my work, so fuck all of my teachers and my ex-boyfriend. Look, you can feel whatever emotions you're feeling, but it's kind of like fuck you. You know what I mean? Like, fuck your ex-boyfriend. What did he do? You know what I mean? Look at yourself in the mirror in the Zoom call before you start fingering yourself in front of a class full of people. Jesus. I'm sorry if you guys can hear loud noises outside. It's trash day and they're taking out the trash just like we are. 5 minutes before the ball dropped, my best friend told me that she masturbated on FaceTime with my ex-boyfriend. We had been dating for a year and 4 months and had been broken up for less than a month. I don't know if she watches you or not, but fuck you, Emily and Chad. By the way, I love your channel. Happy New Year to me. LOL. Fuck you, Emily and Chad. If there's an Emily and Chad, we have a big fuck you to Emily and Chad. My cat is just sitting there looking like the cutest little snack. Are you the cutest little snack? So my ex-boyfriend was jealous of my tattoo artist. No cap, my artist was pretty hot. I would go to this tattoo artist for just about every tattoo I have. I have 9. And he was always a chill person and we just had good convo while he tattooed me. Well, I got excited about a specific tattoo idea, and when I expressed my excitement and ideas to my boyfriend, he accused me of only getting tattoos to fuck around with my tattoo artist. Jesus, that is a big commitment just to spend a little time with someone. We had ongoing relationship problems up until this point and wouldn't stand for this accusation and his jealousy. He was raining on my parade because of his own insecurity. So I broke up with him. And then I hit up my tattoo artist to hook up because now I was single and incredibly attracted to him. He has a girlfriend but was totally down, and I got 2 free tattoos after fuck sessions with him. No regrets. I don't love that your tattoo artist cheated on his girlfriend. Maybe they're in an open relationship, who knows? But this isn't a fun anecdote about the topic of a self-fulfilling prophecy. If your boyfriend was able to control his insecurity, perhaps he wouldn't have led you down the path of breaking up with him and then doing the thing that he was afraid that you would do. But also, I get it. I've been there. I've been insecure and pushed my partner in a direction because I felt unable to cope with my emotions. So I empathize, but also I try to learn. I just realized that you ended the secrets with no regrets, and you should have said no regrets as a reference to that tattoo and whatever that movie was. That would have been a really great way to end the secret, but you didn't spell it that way. We can't all be as funny as me, you know what I mean? As quick and witty and awesome. Okay, here's my secret. I'm so ashamed, Alex, but hey, here it goes. I should start this off by saying I'm sorry because you're probably gonna do that little gagging thing you do when you're disgusted and disappointed, but I let my ex pee in in my mouth. Oh no. I mean, fine if you're into it, but clearly you're not. I don't know why it happened, okay? He manipulated me our entire relationship and made me into like a little slave. I'd do anything he said. Let him cheat with his ex. And honestly, that's sort of not of any importance of said subject, but yo, I was brainwashed. And I had just snuck into his back door and his friend was over at his house for the night, but he was in the bathroom hanging out so we could do the baby making deed. And then he was like, I gotta go pee, yada yada. Next thing I know, I'm on my knees, mouth wide open, drinking pee. He peed all over me because of course once I got a decent amount in my mouth, I shut up that shit so quick. But my freaky crazy ex grabbed my cheeks, forcing all the pee out of my mouth all over him. It pissed him off and he just emptied out the rest of his little peter onto my face and clothes. This is like really fucking traumatizing. Then told his friend what he did. Thankfully, neither of them have told anyone though. Yeah, because they're, you know, why would they? They're the ones in the wrong. Or he is. And then his friend's probably just embarrassed to be his friend. But then I had to walk home alone, traumatized and covered in my manipulative ex-boyfriend's fucking piss. So yeah, fuck him. Merry Christmas though. Love your vids. Also, side note, I'm in a very loving relationship with a great guy I've been dating for a little over a year now, and I'm so scared about him finding out because he'd probably think different of me, but he knows how abusive my ex was to me, so he knows I was a totally different person when we dated. But how can you sympathize for someone who let someone pee in their mouth? Abuse or not, probably won't make any sense anymore. I was just lost doing anything the dumb motherfucker would say to win his love. Dumb me. I'm just scared I'm gonna marry this kid and have to take it to the grave. I've drank piss before. Advice? Yeah, I have advice. I genuinely have advice. Tell him. Get this off your chest and tell your partner. I don't think, based on your description of him, that he's going to leave you over it or significantly judge you. We all have done things we don't want to do, especially when we're being manipulated, abused, and forced into it. I think he'll understand, and I think you will feel a great weight off your chest if you're able to share this with him. Best of luck, and try to do whatever you can to shed the shame because you didn't do anything wrong. Honestly, hearing that story gave me trauma. Sometimes I wonder if my therapy should be a write-off, you know, a tax write-off, because y'all are making my issues way worse. And then do I have to pay for your therapies? Because I'm just passing the messages along. Sexual assault trigger warning, I can tell already. I started college this year and I was really nervous about it because my rapist lives really nearby to my college. Backstory, there's this guy who I met at a summer camp and we were pretty good friends. I was fighting with my now ex-boyfriend and I talked to this guy. We're gonna call this asshole Conrad because that's his real last name. Fuck that guy. Woohoo! Anyway, so I was talking to Conrad and crying about how I felt lost in my relationship and how I just really like cuddling and wish I could have done more of that. He told me he liked to cuddle, and from there he convinced me to break up with my boyfriend. Around a month later, I was home alone. Wait, sorry, were you home alone? We were like kind of a thing at this point, and so he drove to my house and made me suck his dick, which for a long time I didn't consider rape, but then I was told that it was rape. I've been having these conversations with people in my life a lot lately for some reason, but a lot of people think rape or assault has to be physical force, but no, you can be emotionally and mentally manipulated. I think a lot of people invalidate their own experiences because it isn't like the most extreme version of that word that you can think of. Anyways, I almost didn't apply to my top choice of college because he lives so close by. I'm glad you did though. I can't help but worry while I'm there that I'm gonna see him someday. It's just really freaky to think about. I blocked him on everything that I can. I broke up with him a week after that and he told me I was making a mistake. He told me not to tell people that I raped him. Wait, what? He told me to tell people? You mean that you? LOL, fuck you, don't rape people then. Good point. That's a compelling argument. Also, he told me while he was doing it that he was insecure because his high school friends made fun of him for being a virgin. Don't make fun of guys for being virgins or anyone for that matter. It literally led me to being raped. You're telling me that this person was so insecure about being made fun of that he had to force someone to fill that role? Conrad! We've got a Conrad. A guilty Conrad. I love just listing people's genuine names who fucked you guys over. I feel like I'm doing you a favor, but not really. Like, there's probably lots of Conrads and no one knows who that is, but fuck Conrad. Fucking fuck Conrad. I'm glad you're living your best life at that college. I hope you get your degree and graduate top of your class. I don't even know if you want that. Do whatever makes you happy. But fuck Conrad. So, my ex-boyfriend, I'm gay by the way, was really into like boys acting feminine, and we had been sending nudes and he asked asked if he could see me in a pair of panties. Obviously, I wasn't gonna go to the store and buy some. So while I was visiting my dad's place, I borrowed his girlfriend's and they actually looked really good. Don't let me lie. But when I went back again, I was a bit risky and decided to do it again. This time, I was in the bathroom taking pics. My dad knocked on the door and asked me what was taking so long. I ended up leaving them right in the open, and long story short, my dad realized what I did. He said something about it, but never mentioned it again. Awkward. That's so awkward. And I wonder if his girlfriend ever wore those panties again, and your dad was just like, oh man, my son's dick was in that. Really weird. A whole lot of weird. A whole lot of weird. Oof. Yeah, I'm uncomfortable. I'm uncomfortable. But I bet you did look good. But I'm still uncomfortable. My ex-boyfriend would flush the toilet for me when I went at his house. Goals! Seriously, get yourself a man who flushes the toilet for you when you go at his house. There actually genuinely is a part of me that finds that endearing. And I'm kinda like, why doesn't my boyfriend do that? No. I don't want that. I don't need that. You know what I mean? It's not like a relationship deal breaker if you won't flush the toilet for me. Just a perk. When I was in my sophomore year of high school, I dated this one girl until the end of junior year, so for like 2 years. And her dad was a history teacher for seniors. We broke up because we realized we didn't really like each other that much anymore, but we still decided to stay friends. Anyways, fast forward the beginning of October of my senior year, I was gonna hang out with her for a while to help her get ready for a date. I know, LOL, how ironic. So I decided to wait for her in her dad's classroom while she was in basketball practice. Her dad was chill and I liked him, but not exactly romantically. He was a total dilf and I had fantasies about him before, but he had never done or said anything that would even give me a hint that he was reciprocating those feelings, so I didn't really pursue it, also because he was my teacher. You're giving so many details that I feel like perhaps you're exposing everyone in this story, you know? It's like, teacher for seniors, this class, she played this sport. I'm just saying, the ball is already rolling and I'm on it, but a lot of details here. Okay, anyways, we started talking and he was grading papers and suddenly he starts flirting. And I start flirting back, obviously. And then he leaves his desk to go sit by me and he starts touching my shoulder and rubbing the inside of my thigh. I could feel myself getting wet, so we ended up having sex in his classroom multiple times because her practice was long. After I asked him if he felt guilty about having sex with his daughter's ex-girlfriend, because why not? I already did the feed, so might as well carry my job out of being a bitch. But he ignored my question. I got an answer the next day because I stayed after school again and we ended up having sex again until the end of my senior year. What a ride, literally. I still talk to her. She's one of my best friends actually, and I see her dad occasionally. Also, he's married and was married through that whole ordeal, so I feel kind of guilty about it because his wife slash ex, my ex's mom, is really nice to me, but also he's got that god dick I couldn't resist. I can't believe things like this really happen. If this is true, it is absolutely, I hate this word, but I want to use it because I think it's fitting. Savage, but in the worst way. And we also just can't ignore the fact that a teacher had sex with a student, and that's not allowed. That's simply not allowed. So that's fucked up. And I mean, it's not like you cheated with her dad, but this is all kinds of fucked up. What the fuck? Okay, so this is the story of how I accidentally helped rob a house. My ex-friend told me she needed a ride to her ex-boyfriend's house to get all of her stuff, so like the good friend I was, I said yes. We pulled up and she told me to keep the car running because she would be right back. After 30 minutes, she comes running to my car with a bunch of shit in her hands. She got in the car and was urgently telling me to drive because none of the stuff was hers and that she robbed her ex-boyfriend. It was AirPods, Juul pods, a heated blanket, Air Forces, and $300 cash. Never got caught though, LOL. XOXOXO. I kind of thought you were gonna be manipulated by an ex to robbing a stranger's house, but helping a friend rob an ex is like, I think it's better. It's okay, I think. It's not, but it's better than what I thought it was gonna be. And I would probably steal a heated blanket too. I've always wanted one of those. If my ex had a heated blanket, I'd rob too. All right, let me know. Here's a group question. If you were to go rob your ex, what stuff would you take? I know what I would take, but I'm not gonna say it on the internet. last New Year's, my ex kissed his jewel instead of me at midnight. It's not a big secret, but it's embarrassing how all of my ex-boyfriends have been so shitty. I realized that I'm not bisexual and that I'm actually lesbian this year though, so at least now there's less shitty love interest to avoid, I guess. That is so fucking cringy. Like, that isn't about you. That is on his end, complete and utter cringe. What the fuck? Was it at least a good flavor? You know? Mango, mint. Is it totally hypocritical that I contemplate whether I should share my secrets, but I'm sharing yours? Oh, here's the difference. Mine's not anonymous. My whole face is right here. I've seen an ex be really mean to people before we dated, and I was like, that's the meanest person I've ever seen, and then dated them, and they ended up being the meanest person I've ever known. And it's like, you saw it from miles away. Miles. But we are relentless, aren't we? My friend's ex-boyfriend was fucking scary. Let me tell you how sketchy he was. So he was your average goth edgy bad boy, and I do admit he was very cute to look at, but my friend was enamored by him when we were in our sophomore year, but I knew that there was something really rank about his energy. My friend Alana got him a teddy bear for his birthday. She actually had to go to the bathroom, leaving us both alone, so I tried to be nice and talk to him just to pass the time. I asked him how his day was going, but he didn't really answer. All he did was stare into my eyes in a really creepy, invasive way. He held up and showed me the teddy bear, and I complimented how cute it was, and then he took a switchblade out of his back pocket and sliced the teddy bear's head off without taking any eye contact off of me. Is this real? I was terrified out of my mind and quickly excused myself once Alana returned. For Halloween, he dressed as the Crow, and it low-key ruined me wanting to watch the movie because he scared me so much. One day he said he had a surprise for everyone at school the next day, and I didn't see him anymore after that. Turns out he got arrested because he was dead ass planning to shoot up the school. Like, girl, I worry he's still running around out there. Why do men? Why do men? If there's any men watching this, why? Why do you? Let us know. So one time I was at my sister's funeral and her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend now because she's dead, LOL. That is pretty funny. You're allowed to cope with your loss how you'd like to. So I guess, you know, LOL. Came up to me and asked if I was busy later. I said no, and he winked at me and walked away. I knew what he was thinking because he's low-key a whore. Anyway, after he drives me to my apartment and we do the do. While doing it, he moaned might I remind you, dead sister's name. That is really fucked up, but I just want to remind you that you were fucking your dead sister's ex-boyfriend. So it's like, what did you expect? We kept going, and after we were done, he told me that my hamster was cute. This is where things get weird. They're already really weird. He asked me if he could hold him, and I didn't think much of it, so I was like, yeah. He took my hamster, whose name is Tom, by the way, and held it for a little while. By the way, we were still naked, and all of a sudden he takes my hamster and starts trying to fuck him in the ass. I took it away from him and kicked him, then yelled at him to get out. Never seen / talked to him since. R.I.P. Tom, I miss you. R.I.P. Tom? R.I.P. Tom? Tom? I have not read an ounce of a hint in this secret that you give a fuck about your sister. R.I.P. Tom? Your sister died, bitch. What? This can't be real. I choose to believe that this is not real, because if it is real, I don't want to be here anymore. My ex-boyfriend was homophobic as fuck, but he literally told me that he sucked 2 of his friends' dicks and had 2 guys suck his. I don't know about that. He said they were just like experimenting, but boy, why you gotta double check? What? He didn't start being like upfront homophobic until halfway through our relationship though, so I dumped him. Anyways, he always liked it when I put my finger in his asshole. Also, he wanted me to do anal with him way too much for a straight guy, and now he's dating a girl that looks like a man. So, a 1, 2, 3, 4. If you're homophobic, you're probably gay. You say that it's disgusting, but really you just suck 2 of your friends' dick and then had 2 guys suck your dick and date a girl that looks like a man. Want some pussy or some play. If you're homophobic, you're probably just gay. Is that Tired by now? Leave a comment down below. Are you tired of that song? I've probably sung it at least 5 times. So are you sick of it? I'll stop if you want me to, but I'll keep going if you want me to. It's up to you. I still live with my ex-girlfriend because our lease isn't up yet. I've been trying to find someone to take my room, but she wants to wait it out because she doesn't want to break lease. Since I'm having trouble finding someone to take my spot, I've been staying at my parents' place a lot just so I don't have to be around her. But whenever I'm in my apartment, I just get so mad because she's around. So just to bother her, I've been forgetting to flush the toilet because she's always found it gross when I did genuinely forget. I know it's petty, but look at my poop, bitch. Speaking of look at my poop, bitch, if you just heard my cat jump on the ground, the fucking queen of look at my poop, bitch. The queen of look at my poop, bitch. Mwah. But a lot less petty, you know? Like, she doesn't know how to flush a toilet and stuff. So, like, excuses, yes. You, none. Petty. If it makes you feel good, fine, I guess. But it's petty. So I've been with my boyfriend for 5 years now, and sometimes, in fact, very often, I dream about him killing me in, like, very different ways. People say that you can't see blood when you sleep, but I kid you not. I see the color red all the freaking time, and it's starting to freak me out. Are my dreams trying to tell me something? I could be metaphorical, or he could literally be capable of that. I don't know. Are you still having those dreams? Are you dead already? Can you not even answer that question? Update, please! All right, I'm done. We are done. This relationship is over, and it is you, not me, and all of your baggage. Goodbye.